Hello, and welcome to Spherion. This section focuses on the policies and procedures of Spherion. This is the very foundation on which we operate our business with you and our clients. It is important that you listen carefully. You will be asked to sign off on these policies and procedures at the end of this video. We will start with expectations. When working at any client site, it is very important that you first understand that Spherion is your employer, not the client. Therefore, you will not be entitled to any benefits that the client may offer its employees. You will, however, have to follow their policies on tardiness and attendance. As an employee of Spherion, your duties, locations, hours, and skills utilized may change. If the work you're doing at the client site is completely different than how it was described to you, we need to know immediately. You must address any issue that you have with Spherion. You should only go directly to the client with questions pertaining specifically to your job duties. Be sure to follow timekeeping procedures to ensure you are paid accurately. If you must submit time slips to Spherion, it is your responsibility to do so. Your paycheck will be deposited directly into the bank account you provide to us. When on a job assignment, the computers and computer accounts given are to assist you in the performance of your job at our client site. You should not have any expectation of privacy in anything they create, send, or receive on the computer. The computer and telecommunication system belong to our clients and may be used for business purposes only. You must also comply with the software license, copyrights, and all other state and federal laws governing intellectual property. Computer use violations may result in disciplinary action, including possible discharge and/or legal action. As a Spherion employee, we would like the opportunity to address any concerns about your employment prior to seeking legal action. In accepting or continuing your employment through Spherion, you agree to use binding arbitration instead of going to court for any covered claims that arise between you and Spherion, its related companies, and/or current or former employees. Covered claims are any legal claims that relate to recruitment, hire, employment, and/or termination, including but not limited to those concerning wages or compensation, consumer reports, benefits, contracts, discrimination, harassment, retaliation, leaves of absence, or accommodation for disability. You also agree covered claims will only be arbitrated on an individual basis, and that both you and Spherion waive the right to participate in or receive money from any class collective or representative proceeding. Maintaining great attendance is one of the first key elements to your success on any assignment. You must call Spherion and advise us at least 1 hour prior to your shift if you're going to be tardy or absent. Our phones are available 24 hours a day. If no one answers the phone, you are required to leave a message. This includes evenings, early mornings, and weekends. If you do not call prior to the start time of your shift, it will be considered a no-call, no-show and will result in disciplinary action or discharge from the assignment. 3 attendance infractions in a 90-day period will result in a written warning. This includes absences, tardiness, or leaving early. A 4th incident will end your assignment. If you are considered a no-call, no-show, you will receive 1 verbal warning. The 2nd offense will result in discharge from Spherion. 2 consecutive no-call, no-shows will not warrant a verbal warning, and you will be discharged from Spherion. Following the Spherion Business Code of Conduct is the second key element to your success on assignment. You are responsible for conducting yourself in a responsible manner while at work. You must report any inappropriate behaviors or damage of company property to your supervisor and to Spherion. Only use a company's computer system or other equipment for intended business purposes. Avoid horseplay and littering. You must adhere to the client's tobacco use policy. Make sure you only use tobacco in the designated areas. While on your assignment, be courteous. Follow the dress code, keep your work areas clean, meet production standards, and treat everyone with respect at all times. Any unacceptable behavior or gross misconduct will result in disciplinary action up to and including discharge from Spherion. Now we will review the policies on a drug-free workplace, workplace accident or injury, equal opportunity employment, weapons in the workplace, and violence and harassment in the workplace policies. Spherion follows the Ohio Drug-Free Workplace Policy. Spherion believes that there is a shared responsibility in a safe work environment. Spherion will hold employees accountable for the illegal use, possession, or solicitation of drugs and alcohol. Under this policy, an employee's refusal to submit a chemical test described in the law assumes that the employee is intoxicated or under the influence. There are 4 different types of drug screens you may encounter while working for Spherion staffing. Post-accident, after a workplace accident or injury. Reasonable suspicion, if we feel you seem to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Random, random person, random time. And pre-employment. Some of our clients require a drug screen prior to you being placed on assignment. If you are deemed to be under the influence of drugs or any of its metabolics, or if alcohol is present in any detectable amount, you will be subject to disciplinary action up to and including discharge from Spherion, as well as possible legal action. You hold the right to refuse any of these types of testing. However, in refusing to test, you have voluntarily discharged your employment with Spherion staffing. In accordance with our company policy and the Federal Drug-Free Workplace Act, employees are required to advise us within 5 days of any criminal conviction for substance violations of any kind. Safety in the workplace is critical. It is your responsibility to learn, understand, and abide by all safety policies while on assignment. It is Spherion policy that you report any workplace accident or injury, no matter how small, to Spherion immediately, but no later than 24 hours after the incident happened. If you feel it is necessary to seek any outside medical treatment, we ask that you contact your Spherion supervisor or risk manager immediately before doing so. You are encouraged to return to work as soon as possible. We work very closely with our clients to ensure that you will be accommodated within the restrictions given to you by the physician providing treatment. If this is not possible at the client site, we will accommodate your restrictions in any way we can. You will be expected to accept this offer of employment if the physician on record in your claim approves this accommodation. If you are unable to return to work following a workplace injury, you must call after each medical appointment to report your progress to the risk manager. Spherion will conduct an accident analysis wherever there is a workplace accident or injury. In this process, a Spherion representative, risk manager, client safety personnel, and you will examine the steps surrounding the job that led to the accident or injury. Our goal is to identify the cause of the accident or injury and prevent any future event from occurring. Please contact the nearest office if you have any questions about this process after you have completed the All Eyes on Safety portion of Spherion orientation. Failure to follow Spherion's worker compensation safety policies will result in disciplinary action and may result in the employer contesting your workers' compensation claims. Spherion is an equal opportunity employer. Our company is committed and includes for consideration for employment members of minority groups, females, disabled persons, Vietnam-era veterans, and disabled veterans. All decisions regarding the terms and conditions of employment and job assignments will be based on the individual's qualifications, occupational qualifications for the job in question, and the feasibility of reasonable job accommodations. All employees have the right to work in an environment that is safe, and where all employees are treated with dignity and respect. Spherion restricts the carry or possession of firearms or other weapons by its employees at any time while on Spherion property or while acting in the course and scope of their employment with Spherion, regardless of the location. Employees in violation of this policy will be subject to disciplinary action, up to immediate discharge, as well as arrest and prosecution for any criminal acts. We maintain our clear commitment that violence in the workplace or harassment based on any employee's race, religion, color, national origin, citizenship, marital status, sex, age, sexual orientation, Vietnam-era or disabled veteran status, or the presence of a non-related physical, mental, or sensory disability, or any other protected status, that violence or harassment against them does not occur in the workplace and will not be tolerated by Spherion staffing while on assignment. Workplace violence is actual violence or the threat of violence, harassment, intimidation, and other disruptive behavior against workers. It can occur at or outside the workplace and can range from threats and verbal abuse to physical assault and homicide. Prohibited harassment is the verbal, physical, social media, or cyberbullying actions that are hostile towards an individual. Included in these actions are derogatory comments, slurs, jokes, innuendos, cartoons, pranks, inappropriate texts, pictures, social media posts, or physical harassment. Any person who eggs on, escalates, encourages, or is in any way knowingly involved in the harassment or violence to another will be held responsible. Unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other written, text, pictures, social media posts, verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature are all considered sexual harassment. These actions can unfairly affect a person's work performance and create an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment. Our expectation is that all employees will abide by the violence and harassment policies and give full support and participation to report known or suspect behaviors that create a negative work environment. Do not ignore violent, threatening, harassing, intimidating, or other disruptive behavior. If you see, witness, or experience such behavior by anyone on client premises, whether or not he or she is an agency employee, report it immediately to a supervisor, manager, or the Human Resource Department. They will take the appropriate steps to ensure the situation is addressed directly without delay and that it is corrected. All information will be handled in a confidential manner. Employees will not be retaliated against in any way for complaining about harassment. Violence in the workplace and harassment are a violation of the federal and state law and company policy. Anyone found to be involved in such conduct will be subject to disciplinary action up to and including discharge from Spherion. When ending an assignment, it is important to understand and follow these 3 policies. If you are offered direct employment opportunity from the client where you are working on assignment through Spherion, you must promptly notify Spherion before accepting such an offer. When your assignment is ended, you must contact Spherion and ask for available work in order to stay employed through us and remain employed. If suitable work assignments are available with Spherion and you fail to ask about another work assignment, or if you refuse 2 offers of a suitable assignment, you may not be eligible for unemployment benefits. Having 2 no-call no-shows or walking off an assignment during an assigned shift will result in the immediate reduction of your hourly rate to minimum wage. The following infractions will not be tolerated and result in discharge from Spherion staffing: falsification of documentation of any nature, 2 no-call no-shows, walking off the job, violation of the Ohio policy prohibiting weapons in the workplace, any act of violent, harassment, confrontational, or offensive language, willful misconduct or insubordination, including failure to comply with instruction given by a supervisor, 3 unsatisfactory client reports or negative separations in discussing confidential information, including wages. Spherion is open and committed to every employee on every client site. Each manager and supervisor pledge to promote and ensure that the essence and intent of our company's goals and policies are achieved. In that spirit, Spherion has an open door policy. That means we want to hear from you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let us know. You are the eyes and ears for Spherion on the production floor. You are the ones who are working with it daily. And remember, we can't fix the things we don't know about. Spherion has an open door policy, and we love to hear from you.